I put myself in a space of no demand, right? Where no one needs anything from me for some period of time. I am not available. If you call my phone, you're not going to get me. And it allows me to not to metabolize and let go of that burden. When we are so full of burden, it corrodes at our very ability to receive and give love.
A question that I'm starting to ask is, and actually before I ask this, you said creating some uncomfortable situations. What's an example of a way you could create or put your kids into like an adventure position at 10 and 12 years old?
Yeah. Well, the big thing is, like I said, when I ask my son, what's the one thing you need from me this year so that you feel like you're getting what you need from me and you feel connected to me? And his answer several years in a row has been, I need a backpacking trip with you in the summer. I need a week off the grid it's just you and me in the middle of the wild. And not everybody's going to have that same desire, but I think he's pointing to something that is, that getting your kids and getting them out in nature and away from phones so you can have those deeper conversations, really look each other in the eyes and let nature do its thing around nourishment and awe and wonderment, even if it's just simply car camping. But that we're dropping the devices and we're getting back to, our connection to the magic and the wonderment and the awe of this grand planet, looking at the stars at night. That kind of stuff, I think, really is impactful. And it's also, when I bring this up with, men, often they'll say, oh, that's actually the thing I remember the most about my father is like, he would always take us on these camping trips or he'd take us to these beautiful parks, right? You're instilling memories, and it's not just the taking the photo of the beautiful spot. There's something about the presence of our parents in those moments that is deeply satisfying and nourishing for our youngins.
Love it. So this next question about the role of the father, and if you can look in the future a little bit, I'd like men to start thinking more about one day I most likely will be a grandfather, and the work I do today is going to impact that man down the road. Let me ask like this: what type of grandfather do you want to be?
Great question. I want to be, had this vision in my mind for many years that I'm like sitting under a tree and on a chair, maybe enjoying some fruit, and the kids come to me to be seen in a deeper way, right? Like they come to be recognized and honored and celebrated, and that I see something in them that maybe nobody else sees, or I see it in a way where it really helps them understand who they are and where they come from. And I see the best in them and see what's possible. And then I evoke the best version of themselves through my presence and my reflection to them. That's who I want to be.
Man, okay, check it out. So as you paint the picture for me, what I see is that you said that they want to be seen by you. And for you to be able to do that, you are not so focused inwardly on yourself. And I think that there's this freaking concept of, I put my 40 years in, I'm going to retire at 65 and I'm going to be a selfish son of a bitch now and golf and do what I want and don't bring the grandkids over. And this is annoying. I need my games on, shut those kids up, blah, blah, blah. Like there's this 40 years of building to this entitlement moment of now I'm supposed to be able to enjoy the work that I did, which is just a bunch of horse shit. And I hope that everyone listening feels that I feel that way. Because if I'm at 65 plus or whatever, you find freedom from having to work to hopefully getting to do things that you want to do. Hopefully you're doing that now. To be in such a place to sit under a tree, enjoying some fruit, and to see those that are in your care. Because that's what we want. We want to belong. We want to be seen. We want to be known. And so I love what you said, because I want us men right now to not be thinking about golfing whenever we want. Golf if you want to golf, whatever. But to be thinking about the impact we can have as a grandfather, right? You're still a father It's just in a different sense. So what comes up for you when I share my somewhat passionate view?
I love it. I love it. I share it, man. And the thing that comes to mind actually is there's this idea that, there's so much burden on men in the masculine, right? We are in a constant state of weight on our shoulders to provide, to protect, to, that weight that I think we all can feel, right? That our families need us. There's mouths to feed. There's people that need us. And if we let that burden eat away at us, I think that's what you get. The other version that you described, which is, don't bother me, get off my lawn. I'm going to play golf. I'm not available. Right. That is a man that has never dealt with the burden of being a man. He is not doing the things that you and I are describing, which is like, this is why I walk in the forest several times a week by myself with no one around for 30 to 60 minutes so that I relieve myself of that burden. I put myself in a place where it's a space of no demand, right? Where no one needs anything from me for some period of time. I am not available. If you call my phone, you're not going to get me. And it allows me to not to metabolize and let go of that burden that for most men builds up over decades to the point where they can't actually appreciate the presence of their grandchildren or their loved ones or their partner, right? When we are so full of burden, it corrodes at our very ability to receive and give love.